Started with Mr. Erik Aadland, who many of you know before.
So I'm a bit tall. Erik Aadland, pleasure to speak to you, Log Cabin Republicans and others. You know, I was very honored and thrilled to receive the endorsement of the Log Cabin Republicans as the Republican nominee for Congressional District 7. So thank you for that. It was great to carry that. I live in Pine. I'm in Jefferson County. I'm a husband and a father. I have 3 beautiful children, 8, 5, and 2. So it's a bit chaotic at my home when I'm not on the campaign trail. Also a West Point graduate as an Army officer. I did a couple tours in combat, Iraq and Afghanistan. Received 2 Bronze Stars, 1 for valor, which just means I've put my life on the line for this country and I've seen enough of war. After the Army, I spent a decade in the oil and natural gas business all over the world. I've drilled wells here in northern Colorado as a drilling engineer, but I finished managing a $300 million project in Israel where I built a pipeline that helped make Israel a net exporter of natural gas. Thank you.
All right. Amen.
So now here I am running for chairman of the Colorado Republican Party, and as I was asked to consider this back in December, I was beaten and bruised for my congressional race. It was a hard-fought race. We raised $1.4 million, have a significant string of endorsements. I became an NRCC Young Gun. It was a nationally targeted race, and up to the last week of that election, we were polling within 2 to 3 points, and I was hearing that we would win by 4 points. So when this red wave we expected across the nation in Colorado didn't manifest, it was a shock to many of us. And I think the Republican Party right now is suffering from a bit of disheartenment after not meeting those expectations. But I haven't lost hope, and that's why I'm running for chairman, because we've got to find a way to move forward and come together. Right now, it's appalling to me that we are so divided that we continue to attack Republicans instead of orienting on a common foe. Thank you. But I have not lost hope, and the mission that I set out in running for Congress to build that shining city on a hill still remains, and I believe we can make Colorado a shining city on the hill. We must recognize that everything the Democrats are doing is destroying Colorado, destroying our economy, driving skyrocketing crime. Our education system is in shambles. We've got a crisis on every front internationally. Democrat leadership driving us into socialism is attacking our freedom and destroying opportunity for me, for our children, for your grandchildren. And we've got to find a way forward, and there is a way forward. And what this party is about is winning elections. What the Republican Party exists for, and what the chairman role is about is winning elections, and we've got to start winning elections again. Nothing will unify us better than starting to take back ground and winning again. So I've developed a long-term strategy. It's on my website. It's been published in Campfire, Colorado, to get this party back on track and start winning again. We've got to do the fundamentals right. We've got to raise money. I have the most significant track record of raising money in this race, raising $1.4 million in my congressional race and starting from nothing. And many of those were small dollar donations, thousands of small dollar donations. We've got to rebuild our small donor our network and get them contributing, get every Republican contributing to the party. We've got to train and resource candidates. As a congressional candidate, I went through every part of the process. I got on the ballot through the assembly, winning my assembly with 63% of the vote. Then I won a tightly contested primary, and then I became a nationally targeted race. So I know what it looks like, and I will personally help candidates replicate every part of the process to win elections. Then we've got to build out our data set. We fight a war blindly. See, the Democrats, through big money, know who they can persuade, especially with independent voters. They've got great data. We fight a war blindly. We spend a lot of time, money, and resources trying to work to engage voters who just aren't paying attention or who are never going to come our way. We've got to build out that data set. Then we've got to have an enterprise of harvesting ballots and chasing ballots, much like the Democrats. Democrats don't care about their constituents. It's clear with their policies. What they do care about is accumulating votes. We've got to level the playing field and build out that enterprise to start winning elections, harvesting ballots, and chasing them to the fullest extent. I published an article on closing the primaries. Check it out in Campfire, Colorado. I think I'm getting short on time. I've published a newsletter that will go out to all the Central Committee members and will be published numerous times on how we make the caucus system great again, how we make it succeed. It's the bedrock of this party. We've got to make it excellent and successful. I've proposed a number of other points in terms of building out our ranks. We need to be recruiting Republicans and taking independents back into the fold. We need to increase voter turnout. We've got a voter turnout problem. We've got to address that by inspiring people with common values to vote Republican. Right now, there's an enormous loss of trust in our party that must be restored. It's not going to be restored with all the infighting and the disunity, but it's going to be restored with dignity, respect, and making that tent inclusive. The Constitution's a big enough tent for every one of us. So there is a lot we can do, folks, to bring this party forward. And my qualifications are significant leadership experience on the battlefield and in the corporate sector, leading teams all over the world. It's time to try with a leader. We continue to put politicians and attorneys in this spot who don't know how to lead. But this is a massive organization, the whole state of Colorado, 64 counties, 900,000 plus Republicans. We need extensive leadership experience at the helm of this party to bring us forward and move us through a decade-long plan to take this state back. It can be done. We're going to do it. So anyway, I'm still, how much more time do I have?
-1.
-1, okay. Thrilled to be here with you this afternoon. The sun is shining. There's a lot to be grateful for. We are going to turn this state around. We're going to work together. We're going to come together on common ground and do it together. So Erik Aadland, check out my website, aadlandforcolorado.com. It's an odd name, AADLANDFOR, Colorado.com. And you can see my plan and get a hold of me. So have a wonderful day. Thank you. I would have kept going.